Looks like we're getting into our first round here. Is Mike playing David?
I'm hoping he is not.
Okay, they are.
All right, so they sat across from each other, and they got paired up against each other, which is, it happens. It's random pairings. So they were kind enough to stay in the same seats.
Yeah, it works for me.
So we don't need to...
Wait, and it's great because we know both their decks.
We know everything in their decks.
So it looks Mike's game plan is going to be slam a gutter snipe and play as many spells as he can, right? Get in with a couple of flyers here and there.
You know what I think this is, Alex?
What's that?
I think it's Gerard and Jake giving us training wheels for tonight.
Why is that?
Putting up 2 decks that we already saw them build, so that we know what they're playing.
Hey, it's a good
we'll
good
maybe
start.
Get names right.
It's a good start for us, but we'll work on it. The set, as everyone learns the set, we learn along with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys watching at home, if you catch stuff that you want to comment on during the game, please let us know.
Yeah.
We love interacting with you guys. It's always fun to hear what you all are saying out there.
So Voidstar and Dippy-Doo, what are you guys bringing to Standard Disconstructed? I know personally I'm on Black-White Knights because it doesn't need... I have some of the cards I need, and it plays very simply. You put out a bunch of 2/2s and hope for the best.
I am strongly considering the Grixis Nicole Bolas Super Friends without friends.
Oh, the Sarkin Dragon Super Friends deck.
No, I want to go Nicole Bolas.
Okay.
Where he's only friends with himself.
Oh.
And it's I've thought about this since last night.
3 to tango stuff.
He doesn't need friends.
Oh,
he's his own friend.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm just gonna cram tons of Nicole Bolas.
So, okay, Nicol Bolas.deck. So we got a 7 and 10. All right, so Mike wins, and I think he's going to go first.
Inconceivable.
With burn decks, prefer super budget decks. Yeah, hey, burn has a lot of new options. Banefire being the most notable one. If you are interested in goblins, there's always Squee and Goblin Barrage, so you can just continually kick Goblin Barrage and bring Squee back and recur that. That seems pretty sweet. 4 damage each time.
Squee loves to die.
Yeah, you can cast
He's a
it
weird
forever.
goblin like that. He just doesn't stay dead.
Or exiled, for that matter.
Not even well, now he stays under Ixalan's binding.
Does he?
I believe they corrected it.
Really?
Yes.
I wish they corrected it the other way, where nothing could bind him, because that would be just so much more flavorful.
I don't know.
Because he's the immortal. Drake is on a goblin deck. He was asking me for some goblin pieces, so I know he's gonna be flinging some goblins at us soon.
Jake the tech guy?
Yeah, Jake the tech guy.
He's a goblin fanatic.
He is.
Yep.
He loves them gobos.
All right, looks like David's having to take a mulligan.
Yep.
Getting a look at Mike's hand, we got Mountain Island, so no black.
He does have the gutter snipe.
Cards.
Oh, he has
Omen Speaker.
Omen Speaker to scry, which is great.
Essence Scatter.
Yep, and he has the gutter snipe, the key card he needs in hand.
He does.
So, I mean, surprisingly, other than the black cards, that's a good hand.
That's a very solid hand. Island, Mountain.
Yeah.
Drop the Omen Speaker. Hopefully find a swamp, and keep going.
You have modern too. Okay. Modern to make it 2 that day. Gotcha.
Both good formats.
Yep.
Coming in August, Dippy-Doo.
Dippy-Doo, come on down and play some Magic with us. We'd love to see you.
Every Friday, Saturday, there's some sort of Magic going on. We normally start at 6.
Yep.
But we usually have a couple people show up early. We got to show up early to set up the cameras and everything.
On Fridays, people are here pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're coming with family, leave them at the hotel. There's stuff to do at the beach.
They might even be happy to be like, oh, you're going to play Magic? We're going to have...
Get out of here. We're going out to the luau.
So David's going to keep
Liliana's
this.
Contract,
Yep.
Lich's Caress, and a Hired Hand.
Yep. For
3 mana, so
he
can get a
cast
creature.
it, and he has removal in hand. He likes it.
And Voidstar, don't worry, we do Pauper at least once every 2 months.
Not once every month these days.
It's
every 2 months.
becoming more often.
Yeah.
People love Pauper. So.
And if you just want to play Pauper, give us a holler. I will bring my Pauper deck.
Alex keeps wanting to play 93-94, and I keep forgetting my 93-94 deck.
So it looks like he's going to scry 2. He's going to want to keep one of the lands on top so you can cast the Gutter Snipe. I think he's trying to figure out if he wants the second card as well.
I didn't get a good look at the card, but yeah, he needs the land.
Yeah, so he's the land, and what's that other card? lost.
There's a reason we have to print out spoilers.
Absolutely.
So I saw a glimpse of the art. I will try to guess it off the art, but it went to the bottom.
Yep.
So it's not very relevant. It might have been a dismissive pyromancer.
All right.
It also might have been...
Sorry, Mike decides to...
Any other red card, but it's on the bottom.
So he's going to slam the Gutter Snipe.
We're driving on.
Key thing about the Gutter Snipe is
it's unprotected.
Yeah, but I don't think he has a choice because he doesn't have any counter magic in his hands.
Can I say Jinx?
Yeah.
You owe me a beer.
Double Stampies?
I don't know what...
No takesy backsies?
Dude, you're so much better at this than me. Open speaker getting in there.
The format with no foils? What is the format with no foils?
I don't know.
Explain, Void Star.
If it's a format, I bet you Ben can build a deck with foils.
Yeah, Ben loves that foil. Oh, he got his swamp!
Huzzah!
I've never been so excited for someone to get a swamp. the natural kind of Tron action.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's
crazy.
Now a 1 mana, deal 2 damage, discard a card.
Yeah, and then Duress is going to be great because he's going to be able to take out the Lich's Caress, which is David's removal spell, or at least one of them. We'll see what else David has. So Lich's Caress is there.
Liliana's Contract.
Is that a Luminous Bond?
No, that's the mirror. Yeah, Shield Mirror, Arcane Encyclopedia, and the Hired Hand.
Okay.
So, like you were saying, Lich's Caress is the only thing that deals with the Gutter Snipe.
Let's see. He wants to look at what these do, which is
brand
fair.
new cards. He probably wants to know what they are.
Yep. I would take the Lich's Caress because you want Gutter Snipe to live.
93.94.
Oh! Yes.
Very hard to foil that format.
Yes, actually, that's the actual correct answer. There is no foils in that format, as it should be, as Richard Garfield intended.
You know the crazy thing about it?
Yeah.
None of my 93-94 cards are curling.
Yeah.
None of them.
Hey, some of the non-foil ones are curling these days, from what I hear.
All right, so. He was forced to discard the Encyclopedia.
The Hired Hand came in.
And then on Mike's end step, it looks like he's casting the Hired Hand to block. Actually, during combat, to block the Gutter Snipe.
That's rough. I think if Mike had thought about that for a second, he wouldn't have wanted to trade Gutter Snipe.
He would not have attacked with the Gutter Snipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough.
That's okay. Mike at least was reading cards.
Yes. He did have Essence Scatter in hand, though.
Oh, so he's not reading his cards.
Yes. But but it's okay.
We're still having fun.
We are. Hey, Mike is our favorite guy.
Mike is going to watch this and laugh his butt off.
I'm so excited.
And he might shoot the screen with his Aloha Rocketeer pistol.
Yep. It looks like he took... Did he take the Tomb with the Duress? Is that artifact in there? I think he took the Encyclopedia.
He took the Encyclopedia,
He took the Encyclopedia, okay.
Which... David at the time only representing 4 lands, not enough for the contract or the crest.
It's true.
So, and the Encyclopedia would definitely find them. Oh, and he has a Mind Rot in hand.
Oh.
Or that's...
Yeah, that's Mind Rot. That's the same one that he had before. He still has Cancel and Essence Scatter. You know what's interesting is he could actually just kind of value David out of cards pretty quickly.
Yeah. Because now David has to decide what's going.
Okay, the Shield Mirror
is getting small.
Yeah, he can't cast the Shield Mirror, so that's gone. And the Caress is gone because he doesn't have enough land.
So he has a 5th land, and he kept a contract because that's going to draw him cards. But that will also put him down for life.
Yep.
He hasn't found any of his white or his life gain spells.
Void Star, do you play 93-94? And if so, what do you play? Here comes the Caress.
So David taking 4 damage
to
draw 4 cards. He had also taken 1 damage from the Omen Speaker, so he's at 11 right now.
I see a Murder, an Explosive Apparatus, and 2
and a
lands.
Plains.
Okay.
The Plains is very important, I think.
It gives him access to the second color.
Right now, I think you kind of have to let that Omen Speaker keep doing his thing and pinging you.
Yeah.
Because you know he's got Gutter Snipe,
stuff,
and you watched him build his deck, so you know he has 2 Gutter Snipes.
That's true.
So I think right now I'm not too worried about the Omen Speaker. I believe that's the Hasty Minotaur.
Or Havoc Raiders, is it? Oh no, that's the Hasty Minotaur, the 3/3. Yep, you're right. And he gets in for 4, and David's down to 7.
It's not a Hasty Minotaur, it's a Hostile Minotaur.
Oh, Hostile Minotaur.
Oh.
We'll get the names right by the time Ravnica comes around.
All right, I'm not too happy with their naming conventions in this set.
Yeah.
Between that and the Vigilant Baloth, or Baloth, I'm not too happy.
Looks like he's trying to play the Doom Dissenter. Okay.
Okay.
Gives him a body, basically, to put in. And
a backup body.
Yep, and I believe he has enough mana to also activate the Explosive Apparatus, so he can represent 3 damage to
kill
a creature.
A Minotaur.
Yep.
So right now, looks like a... Is it negate?
It's cancel, Essence Scatter. Trying to figure out what the foil is.
And the foil, which I believe was the draw and discard.
Okay.
Or draw mill. But the 4th card was sleep, and he still needs another island.
No foils is a turnoff. Gotcha. Well,
but the cards don't curl.
Yeah, if you want foils, I got a bunch of foils that are not curled, surprisingly.
They weren't in my house then.
Oh, I have to work hard at that. You have to use like the silica packets and the whole dry air thing. It's not the greatest.
Crazy.
Yeah. Looks like David opts to block with the Doom Dissenter, making a zombie.
So we have not passed the end steps. That Minotaur still has 1 damage on it.
It looks like he's going to finish off the Minotaur with the Explosive Apparatus.
And I see the judge looking for a zombie token.
That looks like... Yep. So the zombie token will be able to deal with the Omen Speaker coming in effectively.
I forgot to bring my Core 2019 tokens today.
Gotcha.
So I gave them my commander boxes of tokens. I apologize, guys. I'll do better next week.
Oh, I like that zombie token.
All right. Well, thank you, Alex. That's my Stubbs the zombie token.
He's sweet. All right. Mike picks up another mountain off the top. I'm trying to wonder what that foil card is in his hand.
Maybe we can get a hand... Well, never mind. If we can get it on a hand cam, maybe. It would be nice to know.
So David got the cavalry, so
he can do both the cavalry and hold up murder.
Yeah, so he'll be able to clog up the ground a bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So
Anticipate,
cancel.
It starts with an S.
Is that the rare? So Mike anticipates during his main phase, taking a look at the top 3 cards.
Salvager of Secrets is my guess. When it enters the battlefield, return a target instant or sorcery from the graveyard to his hand.
So Mike chooses to keep a land and drops the other 2 back.
So he's got 4 mana, 1 blue, so he can't cancel.
He leaves enough mana to Essence Scatter, however.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that is the card that was the foil. Which would make sense in a Gutter Snipe deck.
So it looks like David... Let's see, I can't see that.
So 1 mana black spell.
That's the one that drains. It says 0-3, I believe.
We have Jake pulling it up for us, so we'll have it on screen in just a minute. It's a vampiric something. A vampire neonate.
Yeah, 0-3.
Each opponent loses 1, you gain 1.
Yep. That'll actually stop the clock a little bit here.
Helps with the Omen Speaker.
Yep. Well, the Omen Speaker can't get in because of the zombie.
Token.
But basically, it helps stymie kind of like this steady, small amounts of damage that Mike is dealing with.
It also reverses it a little bit. He'll be able to get a little bit of life back every turn.
So it looks like he has Salvager Secrets, and it will be able to get back Anticipate, I believe?
He's got Mind Rot.
Oh, and
Duress,
Mind Rot. Yeah, that's right. He can
a land and Anticipate. So
he decides to take Duress so he can actually play it this turn.
And see what's in David's hand.
Yeah. And in response, David's going to murder the Salvager of Secrets so that he doesn't lose it. And he won't be able to take either of those, but he knows now that he has a cavalry and a land. So non-creature, non-land.
Do you know what Mike is thinking right now?
What's that?
I played this to make you discard a card, and you can't discard.
Yeah.
That's inconceivable.
Inconceivable. All right, let's see. So David pulls another land. I think. Hey, I couldn't either. I didn't catch it.
All right, so there's the Gallant Cavalry, which will bring in a 2/2 knight.
Yep.
I'm not sure. There's a knight in the Pokemon tokens. Far-fetched. Oh, there's also a knight in my SpongeBob token.
I like that one a lot. Do you have a Patrick token in there as well?
They are all SpongeBob.
Oh, they're all SpongeBob knights.
Yes,
okay.
I do have an octopus token where SpongeBob pretending to be Squidward.
Oh, that's a good one.
But they are all SpongeBob.
Oh, he picks up the second black, which now we're online for Bone Dragon mono.
Yeah, so he naturally found the colors he needed.
Yep.
Now he needs to find the spells. And none of those help with that.
Yep.
He does have sleep, which will help him if David decides to get antsy over there.
Yep, and he also has enough mana to hold up Council and Essence Scatter as well.
He sure does. Now, of note, the Vampire Neonate no longer has Summoning Sickness.
Yep.
So we can expect that to get triggered or activated on that end
Basically,
step.
end step of every turn.
Yeah. So I would not expect David to tap those last two lands.
It's pretty notable too that for at least one more turn, Mike actually has enough mana to play Banefire for lethal.
Ooh. And that's another card David saw.
Yes. So Mike has the opportunity to pull the Banefire off the top here and just win the game outright. But until then, David's going to be able to start crashing in.
So that's a swing for 6.
Yep.
Looks like Mike opting not to block.
Yeah, I don't think there's...
Well, it's a 1/3 Omen Speaker, and those are all 2/2s.
Yeah. Looks like he wants to put some things to sleep.
That feels like a good play. You know, I believe he drew a land, so may as well put him to bed. And by doing that, he can also attack with the Omen Speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Which will offset the life gain and leave him in the Banefire range.
I think he's thinking hard about which guy he wants to
It sleeps the whole team.
Oh, the whole team.
The whole team. So everybody becomes tapped and does not untap on David's next turn. Well, all of David's creatures become tapped.
Right.
The Omen Speaker does not. So now Omen Speaker gets to attack now, and then next turn if he needs to. If he wants to.
Yep.
So we saw the drain effect and the attack.
Mike still has mana for Essence Scatter.
And David passed the turn back.
So Mike is just like, Banefire, please. One time.
Oh, an island is not a Banefire.
But it still buys him exactly one more turn.
Yeah.
To at least pull Banefire.
Each land he plays keeps him ahead of the Neonate.
Yep. Actually,
Ooh.
he has two triggers to stay ahead right now.
He got gutsy with the Omen Speaker.
He is going to take 8 now, though. So that's a lot of damage. It's not like an insignificant amount of damage. Or 6 and then 7.
Now, he also saw David building his deck.
Yep.
And David did not have direct damage spells.
Correct. Or pump spells, necessarily.
Exactly.
Yeah. But he does know that David has a life gain element to his deck. Is that Banefire? Oh, Gutter Snipe. Okay, wait. Gutter Snipe, 2
counter
triggers.
spells in hand.
That's so funny.
That gets David down pretty low, but not lethal.
And he can't do 1 right now.
All of David's creatures kill the Gutter Snipe in combat.
Yep.
The ones that he's attacking with.
Yep. Mike is going to be forced to block with
Omen Speaker.
So he'll be he has to block both.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gutter Snipe just a bit too late.
Just a little too late off the top.
Now, if Mike had not committed the first Gutter Snipe to the attack, this would have been over a while ago.
Totally different game, yeah.
So yeah, he has to block 2 of those.
Mm-hmm.
No, he only... Yes, he has to block 2.
He has to block both. In this situation, I think you take the cavalry with the gutter snipe. What's interesting to note is if he actually had blocked with his Omen Speaker,
he would have had another turn.
He would have had another turn.
So this situation, I would have blocked and killed the token.
Yep.
Because if I kill the cavalry, I know David has resurrection spells.
Sure. Yep, yep. That's fair. Yep, I can see that. So it looks like we're going to game 2 here.
Yep. Alright, so that was a close one. I do think if he had not attacked early, Mike would have been able to pull that one off.
Yeah.
Because it looked like the cards were falling where that one gutter snipe that was out earlier would have gotten them there.
And then the other thing that I might have, like, I think his duress choice, taking either maybe the kill spell or the Liliana's that draws 4 might have been good too, but that's a decision you can't know, because if the encyclopedia ended up drawing him too many cards, that's also another thing. Because David had tons of mana towards the end of the game.
Over the course of the game, the encyclopedia
yeah.
would have gotten him a lot more cards than that contract. So while I don't think I agreed with the decision at the time,
yeah,
it does.
I can see that. I can see the logic. I think in the type of deck that Mike is playing, he's just trying to get there fast. So I think you're just trying to take whatever is the most, the quickest threat to you, as opposed to the other thing. Yeah. So I think going into game 2, I'm not sure if they have a ton of sideboarding things that they want to do. But we'll see what happens here.
So, yeah, it looks like they're both just shuffling and getting ready to go into the next game.
Yep.
Now, for those of you watching at home, Alex and I have been doing this for a while. We're trying to bring one of our other Realms regulars into the fold.
Yep.
So we have Hazmat here.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And
let's give him a warm aloha.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Aloha. Welcome.
Is that what we're going with?
That's what we're going. That's how we.
No, wait, hold on. I got to move to the back of the tour bus.
Exactly.
They let me start. So
yeah.
They let the guy that always wears Hawaiian shirts start, and I'm sorry, that's where it gets you.
No, hey, that's beautiful.
Everybody but Paul.
We love them alohas here.
So, especially Dason. Dason will not come in here and leave until he's done at least 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but we have Matt here. He's trying to pick up the game, and hopefully we'll be able to get him in here more often.
I confess I am a Magic noob, and I need my crash course, so one of these days I'm going to have to get in front of this camera and just crash and burn for everybody.
We'll do it on camera so that you can review it later. We'll do it with you.
Yeah. That and really public humiliation is the best learning tool.
So we're looking at opening hands right now.
Okay.
And looking at Mike's, we already saw it. He did have 3 lands and a gutter snipe.
Yes.
He did not have blue.
He doesn't have blue. He does have a duress, which he can cast either turn 1 or off the gutter snipe later. But yes, he's locked out of 2 cards because he doesn't have blue yet.
And then David's hand, we saw 1 of each color land and 5 spells.
Interesting enough, he does.
And now we're getting to see his hand again.
Exactly. He's going to go with the turn 1 duress. And it looks like David has a lot of creatures. I see 2 Sky Marchers in hand. Let's see what else.
How much of that could he cast with 2 mana, though? I don't believe it was a lot. Strangling Spores, 2 of them.
2 spores.
So he can cast those to kill the gutter snipes.
Yep. But he only has 2 lands. It costs 4 for the Strangling Spores, so he's not on that mana yet.
He drew a swamp, so he's up to 3.
Alright, so he plays the Neonate. Yep.
That was, again, the 0/3 that was able to gain him some life at the end of the game there.
You know, for David, this kind of stuff is actually, like, relevant because Mike is using spells and gutter snipe triggers to kind of take people out. And being able to kind of get just out of range, like 1 or 2 damage out of range with life gain is a significant thing that David has in his deck.
Mike able to find an island off the top of his deck.
So he actually, again, naturally gets all 3 colors.
Yeah.
Yep. So he can hold up Essence Scatter here for anything, but he knows that David is not playing the Sky Marcher until turn 3. It might be relevant for Mike to slam the gutter snipe, but we'll see. Yep, it looks like he's gutter snipe.
I don't think he's attacking with it this game, though.
I think he's learned his
I
lesson.
think he learned not to do that.
So David will drain 1 at the end of end step, which is pretty normal. And then the big key thing is David has 2 lands. Mike doesn't know if he picked up. It looks like David at least has a 3rd.
Yeah, David has only played the lands that Mike has seen.
Yeah. And I think that's the 4th right there.
No, that is a murder.
Oh, well, even better. There you go. Sky Marcher comes in. He drains 1. So David has 2 2 removal spells for Mike's Gutter Snipe. And I don't know if Mike will be able to protect it.
And we talked about earlier while they were building, Mike has a limited number of damage he can deal.
Yes.
Because he's not really counting on damage with creatures. He's trying to get the damage through the Gutter Snipe.
Yep.
And the more life David gains, life gain is not always a route to victory.
Right.
But when your opponent can only deal a limited amount of damage to you,
you feel pretty good letting your board eventually get to a point where your opponent has nothing and you have everything.
Yep.
As long as you can stay above the critical mark, you're in good shape.
Which is a key thing in Modern when you're playing decks like Valakut.
Yeah, or Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you get out of their range, you're good.
Yeah. Both of them want to do exactly 21 or less damage to you. And if you get to 22 or 23, life gets a lot harder for them.
So here's a Strangling Spores to get rid of the Gutter Snipe.
Yep.
And Mike sadly had to let it go. He never got any damage out of it.
Nope. No value off the Gutter Snipe there, unfortunately. That's why I don't like really slamming it down without some sort of backup.
Naturally found a second swamp.
Yep. Unfortunately for Mike, the thing is he had the counterspell in hand, but he did not have the second blue source, which if you kind of go back to deck building, that's kind of one of the problems when you're going 3 colors, is that sometimes you don't have that second color or the second source of the same color for double color spells like Bone Dragon or in this case Cancel. Looks like he's going to use the Mind Rot because he knows what's in David's hand, and he knows it's a good time to get rid of a bunch of what's in David's hand.
With Mind Rot, if my opponent has, say, 5 or more cards, I'll probably wait.
Yeah, I'd wait to get 4 or less cards and feel good about it.
David had 3, so he only got to keep 1 of them. Yep. So you know at that point he's got spells that he wants to cast, and you're going to hit good stuff.
And we know because of the benefit that that 1 card he kept was Murder.
Yeah.
And he also has Liliana's Contract.
Which is 1 mana short.
Exactly. But if he does end up getting that 1 mana, getting 4 cards is great, especially because he's gained 2 life, so he doesn't really care about his life total other than using it as a resource.
Now, the Murder is great for David to have. It's not going to see a lot of targets.
Yeah. Well, not right now. I mean, I'm actually feeling okay with that. If Mike keeps his board empty and lets me just continually hit him for 2, that's when my bears become slightly better.
Yeah, but this is during deck building. I was talking about the Gutter Snipe. You're not presenting a lot of targets.
Not a ton.
And the targets you present are your Gutter Snipes.
Yep.
So
you need a way to protect them or counter the magic, something along those lines.
Oh, he's hitting the wrong colors.
Yep, a lot of red.
Really wants a second island. Just to be able to say no to something.
Right?
So.
Because right now, he's taking 3 a turn, and in 4 turns, that is no longer going to be a viable option.
So we're about to see a Liliana's Contract, I think.
Yep, David is happy to take 4 and draw 4. Refill his hand, make sure he has tons of gas to keep the pedal on the middle.
And the Essence Scatter in hand, not feeling very good for Mike right now.
Yeah.
David slow roll on the draw. Looks like some pretty good stuff.
Yep, something to pay him off for his life gain, certainly.
Getting in for a little damage with the flyer. This game is falling very nicely for David right now.
Yep.
Divination will help.
Yep.
But at 8 life, it's very likely too little too late.
So he's going to draw 2.
Now he hits the blue mana.
He hits a second blue mana, but...
He hit 2 islands.
Did he? And unfortunately for him, he still cannot cast Cancel if he wanted to.
Correct.
Yep.
So that means that the last 4 cards he's drawn, 2 mountains, divination, 2 islands.
Yep.
Which, when your opponent's got a board that's beating you down, is not kind of cards you want to draw.
Yeah, he doesn't have a ton of threats, and the threats that he does have, he can't cast. That doesn't feel great.
And this, to me, one of the difficult parts about playing blue is if you're relying on your counter spells, you have to be ahead.
Yes.
Once you fall behind, counter spells are not helping you all that much at all.
You need something to get the thing that already exists on the board off the board.
Right.
And countering it does not do that.
Which blink of an eye in Dominaria was great at.
Yes, it was.
It's not in Core 2019.
No, it's not.
We do have Perilous Voyage.
I believe we have a repeal.
There are bounce effects.
Yeah, there are a couple of bounce effects.
There's no blink of an eye.
There's nothing that'll draw you a card and replace itself for bouncing.
And there's the 2/2 that returns a permanent.
The Exclusion
creature.
Mage
Yes.
thing. Yeah, that's a great card.
So there are ways for blue to get back, but by divvying it into 3 colors, he's not really able to get to him. I don't think.
Mike brings back Duress with this secret Salvager of Secrets.
That card looks so different in foil.
Yeah, that card is great though. I think
Oh,
that's
it's a
probably
strong
one of my
card.
favorite blue creatures in the set.
Very
That
strong
common.
card. Reminds me of Mnemonic-Wall from
So
Pauper.
David has Murder, Liliana's Caress.
Very politely dividing it into, you may choose from this pile, not this pile.
Yep, these you can take, those you cannot.
And Mike very abruptly saying, no, I'm going to look at it all. Screw you guys. I do what I want.
That's true. I mean, he gets to take a look at the whole hand. He
does.
can only make him discard certain cards. And in this case, probably one of the removal spells. Neither which, probably the Liliana's Caress at this point, because David has enough mana to cast it, also gains him life, and knowing that he also has the gold legendary in hand,
Right.
making him gain less life in any given situation is probably better.
So he did. He went with the Lich's Caress.
Yep.
And down comes the hired hand.
Yeah. And he decides to Essence Scatter it.
He got to say no.
He did.
He did it.
It might be a getting to too little too late time, though, because there's 2 more in the air and 1 more on the trigger, so Mike is basically on a 2-turn clock here.
So I like where Mike was trying to go with the deck.
Yep.
It just seems like he might have stretched it a bit too thin with that third color, made it too difficult to get there.
Yeah, I think you don't have to force it just because you have a Bone Dragon, but I understand the temptation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a
like
great
when
card.
if you open Nicol Bolas,
Yeah, you play Nicol Bolas.
you splash it into your Naya deck.
Yeah. Yeah, it becomes 5-color Bolas. Obviously the best Bolas deck.
Because you have to do it.
Yep.
So, Regal Bloodlord on the battlefield. So now, interesting timing. That triggers at the end of the turn.
Right.
So, with the Neonate, I believe it's at the beginning of the end step.
Yep.
At the beginning of each end step. So, if David waits until Mike
Looks like
enters his
Mike's-
end step
Right.
to trigger the Neonate, he does not get a bat token.
Right. He has to do it on his
Main
turn.
phase.
Yep.
Has to do it on Mike's main phase.
But it looks like Mike takes a look and he scoops it up.
Thanks a lot, Mike. I just explained a rule interaction and it was for naught.
That's all right.
Inconceivable.
Good games by
Damn
both.
it, you beat me to it.
Inconceivable.